Howdy folks, so here I am. Long time since I did the last park run, and I'm going to do another one for a change. I didn't get around to doing my runs during the week with Stan, and it's not too long before I have to do the 10k, so best I get my training in. So I am going to take you along for the ride. Check it out. I've got this little thing, so I'm going to be recording as we go. Alright, let's see how long it takes to do 5Ks.
Saturday morning exercise. Do we have anybody, I think, doing their first park run today?
Right here.
Well done.
Nice. I think I heard a lot of tourists today. Where is everyone from?
Dover.
Germany.
Ireland.
Nice.
Is there any milestones today?
We heard a 50.
Birthday! Alright.
Birthday,
Safety concerns, anybody under 11 must be accompanied by an adult at arm's reach. One dog participant on a short handheld, non-extendable lead by your side. Please, this is really important on the fine days that we are sharing the space, and so you will encounter cyclists and dogs. That we go through a dog park, so dogs are off leash, and so be careful you don't trip over the dogs or whatever, but just be mindful that we are sharing the space. The course, I'm told, is in excellent condition today, no slippery sections. If there's an incident, please advise the nearest volunteer. We have a defibrillator and first aid kit here, and so hopefully we will get word and somebody will go to wherever the incident has occurred. Today we have Tiana tail walking. So Tiana will be wearing an orange shirt, so she'll be encouraging you along the route. So let's have a round of applause for our volunteers. We have a sign-up board here, so for the next several weeks, just to remind you all, we do have an extra event on July the 1st, so that weekend we will have 2 park runs. So we greatly appreciate the kind of usually we sort of suggest 10 runs, 1 volunteer, but sometimes there's actually, you can do both on the one day, like course check, or if you could volunteer to do handing out or do scanning or something. If you're one of the very fast runners, you can take over a position. So just please remember your help is appreciated. So after the event, we usually go for coffee at the boat shed. You pass it on the way, it's just over there. And we are asked by the boat shed people not to be moving tables around. I think it's safety or something. But it would be great if as many people can join afterwards for coffee. And I think that's about it. Is there anything I've left out?
Yeah, a big round of applause to Mary Louise. It's the very first.
Remember, the aim of the game is having fun. All right.
Do you go for tea?
So our timer. Are we ready?
Just coffee.
Okay. So what do I call? Okay. 3, 2, 1, go!
Alright, so here we go. I'm going to talk you through it because I couldn't talk much while I was running. I needed all my breath to get the one foot in front of the other. This is the park run. It happens every Saturday at Ambleside, and it's actually a good fun exercise. Some people run hard against time, some people just walk. It's all over. Now, I haven't done the park run for a while because I run in the mornings with my buddy Stan during the week, but I must actually go back to it. It's actually a lot of fun. So it starts off and you first have to do one little loop around this island here because the course is just a tad too short. It's not a true 5Ks. So they added this little loop here that makes it 5Ks. And then you go back. The thing that gets to me though is like, man, look at how many people are overtaking me, and I thought I'm not doing too badly. It's the crazy thing. Some older people, bigger people, younger people, everybody's overtaking me. Anyway, and I've been running for so long. It drives me nuts. The funny thing is, though, for me, this first bit is always the hardest. It's weird how my legs hurt. On this run specifically, my legs, my upper legs, front, upper, what is it? Not hamstrings, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I can't remember the name. Anyway, the front upper side of my legs above my knees was hurting like hell over here already. And you just got to get through it. It's not like I'm running out of breath. It's literally just my legs hurt. I guess that's the point, is you just got to push through, right? So that's one thing Stan taught me, because, gosh, I guess literally up till about last year, I've never actually run a complete 5K in my life where I ran the whole time. I used to, like, I would run a piece, walk a piece, run a piece, walk a piece. That's how I've run since, I think I ran some 2.4s in the army where I ran the whole time. But for the rest, it's like, that's just how it's always been. So I've never been a runner. It's actually fascinating to think that later in life I would start becoming a runner. Anyway, it's crazy. I mean, my times are getting better, slowly but certainly. This one was ended up doing a 31:42, which is 1 second faster than my best park run time ever. And I used to do park runs in Lone Hill and Century City and Cape Town. I mean, this is my 63rd park run or 64th park run. So I've done a few. It is an awesome course though. I mean, check it this, running down the beach in Ambleside. It's cloudy and it was supposed to be cool, but it was actually quite hot. I was sweating, especially with this rig on. This stupid, well, not stupid, it's a cool thing. It's actually a lot more stable than I thought as well, although it will make you seasick going. I must try the other camera with a stabilizer next time. It doesn't have a connector though. But anyway, so yeah, it's a it's an interesting course. It's a really nice course. Check at all the people going past me. I mean, it's like people much older than me and much like I should be fitter than this. Although I weigh 110 kilos, that's a lot more weight to move around. Some of these people look a little bit lightweight. Any which way, but I mean, it is what it is. So we run all the way along the beach. There's Stanley Park there in front, and you'll see the Lionsgate Bridge coming up in front of us behind it when we pass the trees here. Run through the dog park. It is a nice course, without a doubt. I love it. And it's actually quite a good fun exercise. Although I've never joined everybody afterwards, because generally by the time I'm done with the 5Ks I feel like I want to die. But a lot of these people, a bunch of people actually go out and they go and do a coffee afterwards. Just there where the little restaurant that we passed on the way now, the coffee shop on the left there. So they join up there and they go drink coffee. I think I must actually go do that next week. Go for the run and then just sit down a bit and then go for a coffee. Maybe go for a swim. That would be a trifecta, wouldn't it? So there you go, Lionsgate Bridge wiggling in the front, in front of us in the distance. It's actually quite a cool community. There's a bunch of South Africans. It's a lot of expats, because what happened was the park run is actually quite big in the UK, South Africa, and Australia. New Zealand, I think. So the park run is quite big in those places, and it's only recently started off in Canada, all run by volunteers. There's Diane and Dirk, two South Africans. They always volunteer there, and you've got a bunch of other people. So what's happening is that it's a lot of expats running the park run. You've got South Africans, you've got UK, you've got Aussies, and then lately what's happening is you've got the cruise ships coming in on the weekend, and you actually have people from the cruise ships coming over to run the park run. So there was a lot of tourists. That was the tourists the lady spoke about before we started. It's people from the cruise ships. Can you believe it? But it's becoming a thing, it's like these park runs, because they happen like in thousands of venues all around the world on a Saturday morning. So people are trying to get to as many different park run venues as they can. I mean, I think I've only done 3 park run venues, which would be the Loneal venue, Century City in Cape Town, and then this one. But there's people that make it a mission to drive around. I think there's like 6 or 7 already in Vancouver or on the lower mainland. So you have people that make it a mission to go and run park runs at all of the different things. And all of your records are online. So I can log in now and check my complete history for all my park runs since I started, times and everything, which is cool. That's how I know this is my second fastest park run ever. Did not feel like it though while I was running it. It was like hectic. I was suffering. Literally, it's crazy. Sore legs. How in the world? Where does that even come from? Normally it's my calves that hurt, not this time around. No, it's my upper front legs. Nuts. Anyway, check at all the fishermen in the water there. It's like, what's it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 oaks standing in the water there trying to fish for salmon. How crazy is that? Connor wants to go and do that. I must try and check Facebook Marketplace for some fishing gear and see if I can get something going and maybe take my boy out for a bit of a spot of fishing. He likes, he wants to go fishing. It's amazing, Facebook Marketplace. It's actually such a cool thing. Look, I'm not a big Facebook fan, I'm not going to lie to you. Well, it's not because I don't like Facebook. I love Facebook too much. That's my problem. So I oftentimes get stuck on Facebook and then I just waste a lot of time going through Facebook. But Facebook Marketplace is a gem. There are so many things that you can find out there for like bargains. Really, really brilliant. So I must actually go and check Facebook Marketplace and see if I can find us some fishing gear. All right, we're coming up to the first turning point here. I like to see this as quarter of the way through, which it's definitely not. But this is one of the... Over here we turn left and then we head down this other little path. So I see this as one of my milestones, one of the points I need to reach. Check, even the oaks with the prams are passing me. I'm going to have to work on my fitness or my speed. Alright, so this is a dog park here on the left and you've got the railway tracks on the right. This is the path between the Ambleside fields and you've got the little mushy golf course here in front and you've got the dog park on the left. This is just a cycling path. So Stan was telling me the other day, I don't know the exact facts, but he was telling me the other day that a lot of this, see the lady with the prams passing me, that a lot of this land used to be almost like people didn't really appreciate it, and now suddenly it's becoming something, but it's been bought out by the government, or this land was bought by some developer. So, no, you know what, let me not even go there. I need to go and research the story. This fascinating story. Stan has a book that talks about the history, or that tells the history of Vancouver or West Vancouver, and he was saying that there's some fascinating history around this. Some developer bought this land and was going to develop a whole bunch of buildings and things, and eventually he got stopped, or there was a problem with it. People did not like the idea, and then the government took it over, and now it's the parks. So any of you, if you know what the history is, feel free to let me know in the comments. It will be very interesting. I love learning these old things about the history of these places. All right, so here we go. I'm still getting passed by people, and I'm like, more than a quarter of the way through. This is the golf club on the left up here. That's one of the race. I think he's from Parkrun. He's one of the main guys organizing the park runs. I enjoy the park runs. It's actually quite cool. It gives structure to runs. It's unfortunate that it's on Saturdays at 9 o'clock, because it's like it kind of cuts into your Saturday. Not that I'm not a late sleeper. I get up early. Check, there's the first guys coming back already. It's crazy. I'm not a late sleeper, but so I get up early, and then you do a bit of work, and then you got to go and do the run. And I got to tell you, it takes it out of you. Some days more than others. On this day specifically, I was hurting for the rest of Saturday. My whole body ached, which is weird. I think maybe I'm coming down with something again. Yeah, listen to that. I'm sniffing already as well. So our turnaround point is up front there. Oh, there's Dirk. He's another Sapphire. We're actually going to do an interview with Dirk in the next week. Very interesting guy. He's been very busy. He's like, I don't know, he's a volunteer machine and a worker, and like he runs landscaping, and he does a whole bunch of stuff out here in West Van, and he's got clients in Nanaimo, running a farm there, and he volunteers at the SPCA, and he volunteers to organize park runs, and it's just like, he's a busy guy. Also an ex-South African, nice guy. There we go. The lady with the dogs overtaking me. Man, I must say that kind of gets to me a little bit. I was feeling so confident about my runs with Stan, and I'm getting my times better, and everything's getting better, and then I go to the park run, and suddenly I've got all these people still running away from me. That sucked. I'm going to have to work harder. Anyway. Alright, back to what I was saying about park runs. It is actually really cool. It's such a great concept. I don't know how they make money though. I don't know if they're money maker or if it's just a charitable organization, because it gets mostly run by volunteers right around the world. And there are literally thousands of park runs happening every Saturday. So it's a big thing. I don't know what the numbers are, but I'm sure there must be millions of people running the park run weekly around the globe, which is brilliant. It's like a community. You belong. You're a park runner. You get some interesting people that you meet there. There's this one guy that comes and runs this Ambleside park run. I've gone there in the winter. Then he lives in North Vancouver. So what he does is he runs from North Vancouver to the park run. Then he runs the park run, and then he runs back to North Vancouver. But that's not the crazy part. The crazy bit is he does it barefoot without a shirt in the winter. I mean, it is like ice and snow on the ground, and this dude's running barefoot without his shirt from North Vancouver to Ambleside, do the park run, and then run back. Some people are machines, right? I hope this kid is not part of the park run, because if the little kid on the bicycle beats me, that would be bad. Alright, here's the turning point. Up here, this is where we turn around. and then it's just heading all the way back. So what I do is when I run, I mean, because it's very hard to, it hurts. I'm starting to run out of breath, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what the heck? So I need to try and keep myself motivated. So I try and go, yes, I'm just going to run to the next point, then I'll reassess. I'm just going to run to, and that's what I use these waypoints for, that corner there, the halfway, and then the corner there. So when I start off, I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to run. I just have to stick it out to the first turn. That's once I get there, I can decide what I'm going to do next. Maybe I walk, maybe I do the next thing, but I just need to focus and stick it out to the turn. I need to run that bit because I know I can run that bit. And then when I get there, I generally go, all right, now I just, I can do it. Let me just get to the halfway mark. So I set these little milestones for myself that I need to get to. I found that helps me with the mental bit of trying to go, because I do have a little bit of a knack when it comes to running, and that used to be the problem. I do have a little bit of a problem that I would just run and then go, no. Happened the first time when I was in school. I think I was grade 9 or grade 10. No, it was primary school, actually, remembering. Back in Schweizer-Reneke in the Western Transvaal. I think I was grade 6 or grade 7. And I used to run long distance in school. So I used to run the 1,500 meters. In South Africa, we used to do the 1,800 meters and the 1,500. So I used to run the 1,500. And I wasn't too bad at it. I mean, I ran, but there was just like these other two kids that always beat me, So I would always kind of come in third, and then coming in third, I would always like end up getting chosen for the school team. So the first 3 goes through to compete against other schools, and then I would always end up coming in like 6th or 7th in these other meets. So, and my dad always drove me to practice. I mean, I practiced a lot, so I ran a lot, and it was like going, but I just never got past that. And I remember that was the first time. That was actually the last time I ran as well. So we went to a meet in Freiburg, which was our neighboring town, and I was doing the 1,500 meters, and these oaks were setting a blistering pace, and I was running in 6th position again, and I think I was on the 2nd lap, and at that time I just went, nah, you know what, I've had enough. I keep on running, I keep on killing myself here, but I'm just not getting there. So I literally stopped in the middle of the race. I just pulled off, and I was like, I'm done, I'm out, I'm not running 1,500 meters anymore. So I stopped running. So I quit right there and then, in the middle of a race. And that was the first time, and that was the last time, I guess, that I ran a proper race. So getting back into it afterwards at 40 years, crazy. Look, it's not the right thing to do. I should have just kept on running, but yeah. So that's my problem. I have this thing, and that's why I've never actually ran until recently. I never actually finished running a full 5K, is because I would always be running, and then I would be like, nah, it hurts, I'm tired, I'm stopping right now. So I've been working on myself, trying to get myself to get the grit back. What do they call it? Grit. Oftentimes we talk about the youth of today that doesn't have the grit anymore. But I didn't used to be I also was youth. I also used to quit when things got hard, oftentimes. So trying to focus, and that's what running is helping me with it. But it's like I really don't want to do this. I want to stop and walk now, but I just know that I'm not gonna. I just have to keep going. So, and that's cool. It's interesting, they say, you become the sum of the people that you hang out with most. Now, we don't hang out with a lot of people, but I have lately, need to, it's just like, I've met a lot of South Africans, and then we braai with a bunch of people, and I must say, it's a bunch of very inspiring people that worked hard. It's just like something some people say, the suffers that have left the country are the guys that's run away. You know what? It's not running away. It is a lot harder than staying. Leaving South Africa and coming halfway around the world is a lot harder than staying. I listen to people's stories, and you got to take a step down, a peg down. People that had their own businesses and that now have to work for a boss, and the boss is giving them trouble, and it's like, it's a different story. But then again, I also look at some of the newcomers here that stopped, that had their own businesses, and now they're working for a boss and they're starting from the bottom. And I can tell you one thing I do see is that within the next 4 to 5 years, those guys are going to be right back on top over here, because they committed and they work hard and they do their thing. And it's inspiring, I must say. I think I've been not as good at it. Oh, look at this lady run the world. She obviously runs places all over. Anyway, so it is starting, it's inspiring. It's like getting me to start getting up off my ass and actually start doing stuff and start focusing and making sure that I get my work done, and also making the hard decisions, because that's oftentimes something that we don't do when we should, is make the hard decisions. Sometimes you gotta make a call and stick with it. So it's fun. All right, heading back. It's quite low water, hey? Look at it there. Wow. There's all the fishermen again, trying to catch those elusive salmon. Well, I now have a full fishing license for a year with a salmon license since we went fishing with Dave. So need to find those fishing rods and see if we can get fishing. I need to actually maybe just read up a little bit on fishing, because I'll be completely out of my depth here. I don't even know what you're going to fish with. Are you using lures? Are you using bait? What are you fishing for? Where's the best places to go fish? If any of you know, that would be great if you can stick that in the comments somehow. I need to start figuring that out. I mean, I know in South Africa I need some bread and vanilla and earthworms to go fish for carp and yellowfish, but over here I have absolutely zero idea. I mean, we were trawling, but we were trawling with those lures when we went to visit Dave to catch that salmon. So I don't know what. Speaking of that salmon, maybe that's what I should get going today. That sounds like fun. I'm clearly running a little bit slower because people catch up with me, or do you think these people are running faster at the end? Interesting. Anyway, not so far anymore now. Just around that bend, and then we're heading into the final. It's a great course. It gets a bit hot in summer though, when the sun is out, and then you sweat like crazy when running this. I actually prefer running it when it's winter. Definitely much better when it's cold, because I heat up quite a lot when I run. So I prefer the colder weather. There's the golf course on the right here. Well, it's not a golf course, it's more of a putting, more of a what do they call it, a mushy course. It's like a short course. Still want to go do that though. There's so many things I still want to do, and then I just don't get around to it. Definitely need to get more structure in my life. I think that's the big problem. I've got way too little structure in my life. I don't follow structure. But then again, I thrive when there's no structure. Better when that's true. I struggle to like stick to like, oh, you got to do this now and that now and that now. I kind of more like, I'm going to do whatever I want and be creative and free. Yeah, makes it harder. Say to Belinda, I make lists of things I need to do and then I lose the list before I get to it. Alright, well, I just need to show some grit and get my lists done and get my plans sorted and start sticking to it, I guess. Eh? Don't quit, just keep going. You can do it. You've shown it with the running. Lots of people on the beach already, although I must say yesterday wasn't like the perfect beach day. It was extremely hot while we ran. We actually had a bit of a braai later on in John Lawson Park, and it was typical Vancouver weather, you know. Got there and it was beautiful, hot and sunny. Then the clouds came over and it was still hottish, and then there was this cool wind that started blowing in, so then it was cold, then it rained and it was very cold and rainy, and then the sun came out and it was nice and hot and sunny, and then it cooled down tremendously and it actually became cold to this point that people was putting on jackets, and all of that in like a 5-hour time span. Vancouver, right? It's like goes from hot to cold to cloudy to rainy. What do they say? 4 seasons in one day. Feels a little bit like that. All right, here we go. We are in the final stretch now, and now I get overtaken by more people. It's harsh, man. This is harsh. I should be able to do better. I'm gonna have to get myself into more gear. I guess one of the main things would be to lose a little bit of weight. I lose a little more weight, because if I lose a little bit more weight, I've got less weight to carry, so my legs work a little less hard. Hey? Who are the running experts out there? Stan, what do you think? What is that? It's a guy with a metal detector on the beach. Oh yeah, I can imagine there must be a bunch of stuff getting lost on the beach. Yesterday there was a lot of people on the beach. Well, the day before actually, or Thursday when we went to the beach. So here's the little coffee shop coming up on the right over here. This is where the park runners gather after the run to chat and network and, you know, have a catch up on everybody's weeks and stuff like that. They've got seating on the right over there. I'm not going to show you because I'm now just focusing on getting to the end without dying. By now it's not my legs hurting anymore. By now it is entirely my breath that's killing me. Yeah, anyway. But, you know, I'm actually quite proud of the fact that I'm doing it. I'm running 5Ks now. Only took me 53 years to get to do it the first time. And now I am doing it, which is absolutely brilliant. Hey? The one thing I can still tell Connor. So, you know, Connor is now, he's bigger than me, he's taller than me, he's heavier than me, he's stronger than me. I mean, the kid packs a punch because we got the weights in the boxing bag out in the garage. He just broke the boxing bag the other day. He punched it so hard that the thing tore open. I mean, he is stronger than me in every single way. And he likes to be, you know, like kids. He's like, oh yeah, I'm stronger than you now. I'm like, yeah, but at least you're not faster than me. I can still outrun you. So he doesn't like that because he's not a runner. So at least that's the one thing I still have over my son. All right, here's the final turn into the final stretch. I must say, the nice thing about the park run community is such a supportive community. I mean, when you're running, the Oaks are always like cheering you on or going, come on, go for it. You know, it's like, it is an awesome community. If you're a runner and you can do Saturdays, a park run is a must. It's definitely a lot of fun, and it's definitely a great community. And it's a community you can join everywhere in the world, you know. You can run the park run in Alberta and Kamloops and South Africa and freaking Christchurch and New Zealand and in the UK, and you can run it anywhere, and it's all the same format, the same thing, obviously different courses, but yeah, you can, it's the same format, the same thing, it appears on the same website, and it's just a cool thing. Right, here's the finish coming up. I'm going to stop talking now and let you hear the last bit.
Well done. Great job.
Thank you. What's the time?
31.
Oh wow, that's not too bad.
I got a PB as well.
Take a photo.
You'll have it, sorry.
Who's scanning? Okay.
One more, another, watch out.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Who's supposed to? Okay, yeah.
I got a Facebook memory about Victoria the other day.
Thank you.
Next time you use it, it'll be good.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Good anyway, don't worry.
Thank you.
I've taken a photo. 1st of July.
Yes. Oh, you can take it. It's nice and cool. Yeah, I like the wind.
Alright, so here we go. Done. I was worried about my time, and apparently it's not too bad. Like 31 minutes or something, which is good. I almost died out there. I was suffering today. This thing is not very comfortable to run with, I gotta tell you. Gotta take some getting used to. But for the rest, we're all good. Hey guys, what are you doing?
We're selling cookies for cancer research.
Cookies for cancer research.
Yes.
That is so cool. Look at these guys. So, is it the first time you're doing this?
Yes.
Okay, and how's it going? Are you selling some?
Yes, it's going very good.
Excellent. I wish I had some money with me. All right, guys, enjoy.
Yeah.